Whatever you choose to do in this life, let it bring you peace. Life is far too short to be lived in constant tension. You see, we are easily hypnotized by ideas of what we should do, and so we chase work that drains us, stay in relationships that unsettle us, and carry obligations that quietly exhaust the soul. You are not here to fulfill someone else's idea of success. Time is moving quickly. Choose what makes you feel whole. Peace is worth more.
Welcome back. How you guys doing? I'm doing good today. It's really cold here. We're going to have a storm coming, so you guys better make sure that you stay warm and bundle up if you're going to be outside, and whatever you're going to be doing, better make sure you got enough clothes on because it's going to be a cold one. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for coming, liking, sharing, commenting. I appreciate all the love, all the support. I do this for you guys. I want to share what I know with everybody else because I know how people feel. I see people every single day in my life. I deal with people every day, all kinds of people, different races, different creeds, different religions, different beliefs. None of that matters to me. What matters to me is just to see people happy, see people smile. In today's energy, we'll touch on that. Today's episode, we'll touch on that. It's about energy. Energy is important. It's all around us, and we don't pay attention to it. We take it for granted. We don't realize that energy is life. Life is energy. We exist because we're energy. We're a source of energy, a light being here in the physical world. Where you spend your energy is what dictates your reality. Your energy is expensive, and energy is contagious, and it's noticeable, and it's attractive. So the energy that you expend is the energy that you'll receive. So what you put into this world is what you're going to get. In today's episode, we're going to talk about energy and how important it is. This is one of the more important episodes to me because I believe that energy is the foundation of life. And it's something we're never taught or never talk about. It's one of those pseudoscience things that because you don't see it, it doesn't exist. Yet we walk around breathing air we don't see. We walk around on an earth that spins thousands of miles per hour without thinking twice about falling off or some crazy notion. So why couldn't energy exist? Just because you can't see it, just because you can't feel it. Oh, you can feel it. When you're in a bad mood, you can feel it. When somebody else is in a bad mood and they walk into a room, you can instantly feel it. That's energy. You feel it. When somebody's radiating positive energy, you feel that, and instantly the people around them feel that. So today, that's what we're going to dive into. Thank you guys so much for coming. The likes, the shares, the comments. I love it. I love the interactions. I love being able to reach you guys. And I love just having a voice so people understand that they're not alone in this world. That all the struggles we go through, we all go through, or we have all been through. Nobody's alone in this struggle, especially in today's world. It doesn't make it easier to deal with any kind of struggles when you don't know how to protect your energy, or you don't even know that energy exists. So today, we're going to get into that. Thank you so much.
Protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. and start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for.
Hey guys. Yeah, so like I said, today's episode is going to be about energy. As you saw in that video, negativity is one of the biggest parts of energy, because your negative thoughts are going to create negative reactions, and it's going to create negative outcomes. You know, if you think about the bad things in anything, you can always see the bad things. There's always two sides to everything. There's negatives and there's positives. It's like everything else in this world. It was built to have an opposite. We wouldn't know a good day without having bad days. We wouldn't know sad without being happy. You know, we wouldn't know sunshine if we never experienced storms to enjoy the sunshine. So that being said, that's where energy comes in. You know, we spend so much energy thinking about things that probably are never going to happen, or things that don't really affect us on a daily basis, yet we let it consume us, and it throws off our energy. You know, we get angry at the world, we see how it's going, and then the anger carries on. But the energy that we carry comes from a lot more. It comes from what we eat, it comes from how we sleep, it comes from how we think, you know, and that's important because it's all part of your cycle of energy. If you're tired, you're grumpy, you're low on energy, you don't want to be doing anything, you know, you're hungry sometimes. People act crazy when they're hungry. I mean, we see it at fast food places all the time. Like, dude, you're freaking out over poisonous food anyways. Like, calm down. You know, part of that is why you get bad energy, because you're eating toxic food. So it makes sense. Like, you are what you eat. So if you're eating toxic food and you have a toxic attitude and a toxic life, well, that's because you're starting with toxic food. And then it turns into a toxic attitude, that turns into a toxic personality, that turns into a toxic day, that turns into a toxic week, that turns into a toxic life for you and anybody around you. Because you let the negativity breed. But that's what negativity does. It's like a silent world that exists. You know, in the ancient texts, they talk about this dark energy that exists. And somebody who read the text described it kind of like this, like a dark energy that exists and you can't see it and it's not there. But when you're having a bad day, you happen to stub your toe on the same table that's been there for 5 years. It didn't just move. You know, you're walking out the door and your shirt gets ripped on the door. You know, that's that dark energy trying to keep you in that dark cycle, trying to keep you angry and keep you mad so that you can go out and have an attitude with the next person you come across because you're having a bad day. And then you expend that energy onto the next person. And they're like, whoa, like, I didn't do anything and now I'm having a bad day. So then they do it to the next person that comes to them because two people have been pissed off for reasons that have nothing to do with them. This is how energy expands. Like I said, when you walk in a room and you're angry, people feel it. When you walk in a room and you're doubting yourself or you're feeling nervous, people feel it. It makes them nervous. It makes them anxious. That just shows you simple examples of how energy works. You know, the biggest part of energy is our thoughts. Our thoughts create our reality. And what we think, our body wants to reinforce. So if you tell yourself you're going to have a bad day, 75 trillion cells in your body are going to reinforce the fact that you want to have a bad day. If you tell yourself you're sick, your body's going to say, okay, I'm sick. If you tell yourself you're angry, then your body's going to figure out why you're angry. If you say you don't like your job, you're going to constantly see reasons why you don't like your job. If you're mad at your partner, you're going to constantly see things that make you angry that your partner does. Just because you're stuck in that anger or stuck in that energy and you want somebody to have that energy with you. It's like misery loves company. When people are angry, they want people angry with you. That's why silence is the toughest weapon, because silence is what protects your energy. Somebody's yelling at you or they want you to respond and you don't respond, then they just look like an idiot because you're just yelling for no reason. Because I'm not going to absorb your energy. So take this example. So somebody's yelling at you and they're getting in your face, and your idea is to in turn yell at them and get in their face. So somebody yells at you and gets in your face and it bothers you. So you act just like them by yelling at them and getting in their face. So your response to somebody upsetting you is to turn into them and be exactly like them. Right? That's absorbed energy. It's mirrored energy. Because you take the energy that you see and you reflect it. That's mirrored energy. But if you don't show a reflection, their energy doesn't get absorbed by you. So it bounces off and it inflates them more. And they get more mad and more mad. And what are they going to do? Hit you? Kick your ass? Because you're not responding? They're going to act out more because you're not responding to them? It just goes to show you that that's the way to win. But it's hard because our ego, oh, I'm tough. I can't let nobody talk to me like that. He hurt my feelings. I better kick his ass. I better go get my gun. Because somebody said something, well, like I try to explain to my kids, when somebody says something, it's either the truth or it's not. And if it's not the truth, it doesn't matter. And if it's the truth, you have to accept it or change it. And if you're not willing to change it, you better accept it and not let anybody be able to piss you off with the truth. You know, people don't realize that life is energy. Everything about it is energy. You wake up in the morning and you think you woke up and you're going to have a bad day. Like, of course, that's what's going to follow. That's the first thought of your mind. You act like you don't even want to wake up. Like you're not happy to be breathing another day. There's thousands of people who aren't going to wake up after they go to sleep. But if you wake up and tell yourself, I'm going to have a good day. I'm going to do this. I'm going to succeed at this. Your body reinforces that. And it helps you push yourself till you get to that point. You can't give yourself and your energy to everybody else. You have to give it to yourself first. You know, this comes in loving yourself and believing in yourself. Like I said yesterday, you have to believe in yourself because you're the one that matters. You're the one that's got to carry your own weight. You're the one that can change any circumstance to make your life better today. Every single day is a brand new day in the rest of your life. Every single day is a day to start something new. If you're an alcoholic, it's a day to fight it. If you take drugs, it's a day to decide to stop. If you have parents that you're on the outside with, it's the day to call them. If you have kids that you haven't seen in a while, it's the day to see them. Because the only other thing more important than energy is time. And time is not infinite. It's finite. We have limited time here. Time that can expire at any moment. Any moment you can walk out that door and not come back. Any moment you can go to sleep and not wake up. And you spent your days here living in bad energy. Living in bad feelings. Living in hurt feelings. You know, when it comes to feelings, I tell myself that feelings aren't real. They're a reaction, usually to something that's happened in your past, because that's what feelings are. They're reactions. People have called me names my whole life. People have made fun of me my whole life. And it took a long time to realize, like, oh, what are you going to do? Hurt my feelings? They're not real. The only thing that's real is energy and how you spend it. And if you spend all your energy on everybody else without absorbing your own energy, your tank's going to run empty. It's like a car that's running on gas, and we put our energy into people and jobs and life and education. But you have to absorb some of that energy back. And some of that energy comes from you. It comes from your thoughts. Everything starts with what you think. You know, that dark force I was talking about, that's where some of those thoughts come into your head. You know, when you're just sitting there randomly and you get these crazy thoughts in your head, where do you think they come from? Do you think you create those thoughts? Where do thoughts come from? If you're you, then who's talking to you? What voice is in your head telling you that this is what's going to happen that's bad? What voice is in your head keeping you anxious about your future? Keeping you afraid, keeping you in fear? Besides our great corporate media that fear mongers us every day about how the world's going to end because they can't stop fucking bombing people. Because our sons and brothers and fathers who are in the military can't be used for defense. We got to be used for offense. Well, I'm not sure who's taking notes in America, but take notes from every sport that exists in the world, that defense wins championships, not offense. When you're spread all over the world and all of our defense is out playing offense, there's nobody here to play defense. That's how your energy works too. It's offense and defense. And in order to win in this life, you have to have a great defense for your energy to defend itself from the negative energy that surrounds this world, the negative people, the negative thoughts, the negative mindsets, the negative growth status. People who are in the same spot than they were 5 years ago. That's not growth. At the end of the day, you're a cell, you're a living organism, which means you either defend yourself or you grow. And if you're in a constant state of defense, you don't give yourself a chance to grow. That energy can't blossom you like the flower that you are. You're made of light, the strongest light that exists in the world. The strongest energy that exists in the world. We're the most magnificent creatures that exist in our known universe. And we walk around angry and depleted and defeated and scared and in fear. For what? Because you're afraid? You're afraid of somebody to see you in a good mood? They'll ruin your good mood? How do you give somebody that power? If you're in a good mood, how do you give somebody the power to play God over who you want to be because of what they say or what they do? Because it hurts your feelings? You're doing exactly what they want you to do. If they wanted to make you angry and they wanted to bring you down, and after they see you or talk to you, it brings you down or makes you mad, you've given them exactly what they want. So this person that you don't like and you're mad at turned you into them. They did exactly what you wanted them to do, like a little pet, like a little puppet, because you can't control your feelings. You can't control your thoughts. You can't control your emotions. Because you can't protect your energy. Build that defense. Protect your energy. Train your brain to think positive thoughts. The world might be rough, but it's not all doom and gloom. Just as much as there's storms, there's sunshine. After rain, we get flowers. After the wintertime, the trees blossom. Be a beautiful flower. Be a strong tree. Don't let this world drag you down. Don't let negative energy dictate how your day is going to go. Don't let somebody play God in your life because you're not strong enough to defend your energy, your peace. You get more peace when you're good with your energy. Protect yourself. Love yourself. Be proud of who you are. Own the truths. Ignore the lies. Protect your energy. Use that energy to become who you want to be, and never let anybody tell you you can't be that. You can be whatever you want to be if you're willing to be it, if you're willing to put in the energy that it takes to get there. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your time. You know, time is so important these days because we don't get enough of it. I really appreciate it. I hope these episodes help. I hope that, you know, if you guys have any questions or you ever need somebody to talk to, that you reach out to me because I'm here. I appreciate the love, the support, you know, like, share, tell everybody about it. Let me know if there's something you want me to talk about. Let me know if there's something you need. Tomorrow I might dive into a couple of topics that are going on around America so we can let our energy fall on that. We know how amazing that news is. But, you know, we got to keep up to date, too, because, unfortunately, what they don't do is what we pay for. So let's keep an eye on them together, see what they're doing, see where they're spending our money, who we're blowing up next. Until then, don't blow yourselves up. Protect your energy. I love you. I appreciate you. And we'll see you next time.
You always have a choice to make. My thing is, I don't have time to be angry. You know how much time it takes to hold an attitude and a grudge? That's time and energy. I don't have that time. The time that it takes you to go, I don't like that person, and keep that in you over a period of time, that's a lot of time that can be devoted to something positive. I choose positive because overall, positive will always beat negative.
Well, you know, Nelson Mandela said about that. He said, holding a grudge is like drinking poison and hoping it kills the other person.